Today's episode is sponsored by the Sea Life Centre. But can you imagine? The Sea Life Centre's mint. The sharks, there's a talking statue, and there's that tunnel.
Yeah, the tunnel's like
Pretty cool.
the highlight with all swimming sort of around it. We are specifically talking about Blackpool Sea Life
Yes,
Centre here,
Blackpool Sea Life
I'm
Centre.
assuming.
Other Sea Life Centres are available.
Are available. Yeah. But definitely a place close to my heart. You know, I'll never forget when that statue of, I'm assuming it's Poseidon,
I think it is.
starts
Maybe.
talking.
Aquaman.
Yeah. Hello, children. It's me, Aquaman. And
Aquaman.
I'm like, who? Mum, I prefer Batman, if that's all right. Can
I
you
am
not get
going to
Batman
teach
in
you how to fight in the water.
it? I can speak to fishes. Yeah, great. Cheers. Cheers, man. Come back when you've got the emotional strength of a spider, then we'll talk. That's all
Yes.
I'm saying.
Right,
I
talking to spiders.
realized, I realized that for those on the video footage, that I've got a background on because this room is a mess. But I've
Clever.
realised that my little earphone sort of bits
You can
sort
see
of
through.
sort of defeat that object. So the Zoom clear thinks my head's massive at this point.
That's hilarious. Hello, doggo. My dog's come to join us.
It's Einstein the doggo.
Einstein the doggo, special guest for today. He has a phobia of cameras though, so he will not be shown.
He will not be showing his face. That's fair enough.
Yeah. So
He's got to
yeah,
protect his
talking.
privacy.
He has. He has. He doesn't want to be known by everybody.
It's
So
like that. Is it Michael Jackson's Baby where they had like the curtain across the face and
blanket
you
was
got
blanket, wasn't it? Yeah. Was it or
yeah.
was that the name? I can't remember.
I
Were
can't
they
remember.
called blanket or did they just have a blanket on? Or
I don't
both?
know.
If you
Or was
know,
Blanket a chimp?
it might have been, I don't know. If you know the answer to this, email us platypipodcast@gmail.com. Um so talking to spiders, right? I was pooping the other day, just
Nice.
as you do, on my phone, YouTube. I've got
You were pooping on your phone.
I was
That's
pooping
not
on my
very.
phone. I've got a
That's not
four
very
month
hygienic, Tom.
no, no. I've got a 4 month free trial of YouTube Premium, which is just mind-blowingly great, but I'm not going to pay for it.
Oh,
Anyway,
does
so
anyone pay for that? Does anyone have
people
YouTube
do.
Premium?
People pay for YouTube Premium.
But
I
why?
had a 4 month free trial. You're right there, Einstein. I had a 4 month free trial. So I was like, I'll try it out. But yeah, you can lock your phone and still listen to things. You can go on other apps and YouTube will just stay in the bottom corner. It's great.
See,
Not worth
that
ten
to
ninety
me,
nine a month though.
that should be the default function of the program, in
Completely
my
agree.
opinion.
Completely
That
agree.
should be like base functionality.
Yeah,
Because if I'm
but
on my desktop here, like it does that. It does it anyway, doesn't it? Like
it does. Yeah.
I don't know, Tom.
Ah.
So what has pooing on your phone got to do with spiders,
Oh,
though?
spiders. So yeah, I Einstein. This is going to be extremely distracting. This episode. So spiders. So I looked up and there was a spider climbing across the wall. Now my bathroom wall, like most, is made out of tiles, and it was just amazing watching this spider just move around the wall and have grip on these really slippy tiles. Like if I
Hmm.
tried to climb up a tile, I'd just fall on my face.
That's true. That's true. I mean, if I try and go for a light jog, I fall on my face. So there's not really, much contention there, if I'm
uh,
honest.
people watching this on video as well, you'll have to excuse the sweat. I am literally dripping because I have had to close my window because we get noise pollution come in and it messes up Johnny's editing. So I've been instructed I have to close the window, and I'm in a tiny room and it's British summertime. It's currently about 26 degrees, which for us, let's just talk about this for a minute actually. So Americans and other hot countries, so America,
Are
Australia,
available.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, that's not hot. Like 20, 26, 27 degrees isn't hot. What are you on about? The thing is, right, we in Britain, we don't have air conditioning as standard in our homes.
We're not built for this. Our
No,
houses are not built for this.
our
Like,
houses are
it's
built to
simple as
keep
that.
heat in
Yeah,
rather than get it out.
because it's
Whereas, like,
Baltic over the time of the year. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, oh,
Whereas, like, your hotter countries, a lot of them have aircon. I understand some don't, but a lot of them do. But your houses aren't designed to keep heating as well. So yeah, it's I'm currently just pouring
yeah,
with
me
sweat.
too. We are in the middle of a British heat wave, which has put me in the middle of an existential crisis, Tom.
Why?
Well, because this is only going to get worse, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Like, this climate change malarkey,
Yeah,
like all these environmental disasters going to get. They're flooding in China. That
yeah.
looks pretty horrific.
Germany.
You know, flooding in Germany. That's crazy.
Yeah,
These weather events are just going to get mad and mad, and it just fills me with a crippling anxiety, Tom. I'm not going to lie.
I
I've
think
not
with
spoken to Frances about this, but it's crippling. I've got a crippling anxiety about the
yeah,
fact that, you know, we could be the last generation of
I know.
normal human beings.
I know. The
Because,
problem is as well, we both live very close to the sea.
yeah.
So if sea level is rising, we're screwed.
And what's going to happen is these rich bastards, on top of, you know, the tax they don't pay and the corpses of hundreds of thousands of workers, are going to just fuck off to space and take, I don't know, a handful of us poor people with them to serve
Yeah,
them
I want to talk about that
caviar
in a
and
minute, actually.
nonsense. Fucking, and then we're just going to all, well, we're going to bake in summer and die, and everything's going to evaporate. And
Yeah,
in winter, it's going to be blizzards
yeah.
and just rain forever. I'm freaking out, Tom.
I think it's going to turn
Freaking
into
out.
a post-apocalyptic Game of Thrones type thing where you've got the wall and winter is coming and winter lasts for years. But going back to rich bastards, I just want to mention, so last week, Richard Branson flew his Virgin flight thing to space. Now, his spaceship, we'll call it, looks pretty sleek, pretty cool, pretty futuristic. Jeff Bezos, on the other hand, his rocket looked like a penis.
It is a bit phallic.
A bit. It's just a giant penis flying off to space.
Yeah, and the rocket looks like a penis as well.
Yeah, that too. But that's all I'm going to say on the matter, because I know we'll get too deep into this, and this is an improvised comedy podcast. So
No, it's now Johnny's mental breakdown, existential dread podcast, where I talk about the fact that we're all gonna die, and like, you know, I think
look at it this way, right? We are all going to die, but just you will die knowing that people have listened to us waffle on for 20 minutes about platypus. Or is it platypi? Or platypus?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
clever.
And
That is your first successful segue of the season.
First successful segue of the season. That takes us on to our fact for this week. It's fact of the week time. What's the fact, Johnny?
The fact is, I'll just get the page up just so I can word this a bit better. There is no universally agreed upon plural form for platypus in the English language.
There we go.
No one knows exactly what they're called in, you know, a group of platypus is. Is it just platypus, for example?
Well,
like sheep.
Like sheep, yeah, that was going to be my example. But then you've got cow and cows. So is it platypuses?
Platypuses? I think that is the generally used term.
It is, but we're gonna make history today, and we are gonna come up with the official plural
Once and for all,
word.
draw a line under it. This is the word from now on that people will use the world over in English-speaking language to identify the plural of platypus. So we're going to go through a couple of alternatives. We've got platypuses,
Yeah.
which sounds too much like platypussies to me. So
Yeah.
we won't. I mean, that's a tick against it for start off.
Yeah.
Whatever scientist thought that would be funny needs a slap on the wrist because it's not good. Right?
No, it's not. So, what about this? I feel like this is an obvious one. Platypi.
Platypi is our namesake, and so that gets
Exactly.
a plus. That gets a +1 anyway.
Yeah.
Right, because it's named after. It'll be named after us, named after it. So,
Yeah.
that's all plus points to me. Platypi, it's funny. It's just fun to say.
It rolls off the tongue.
It does roll off the tongue. So I think wedging forward with that. There's also just putting an apostrophe above the S, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, but then how
when
do you
pluralized.
pronounce that?
It would just sound like platypuses, wouldn't it? Like James's.
Yeah.
Platypuses.
Yeah. No, I'm not feeling that one.
We're right back at square one then, aren't we?
What about something a bit more unique, like platypus?
Platypus.
Platypus.
We do like platypus.
We do like platypus.
And I will never put that down in writing because I want it to be unknown exactly
Yeah.
how you spell
Okay.
platypus.
Yes, I like that.
Platypus. So the unclear nature of how to spell it gives it a plus point.
Yeah,
Platypus.
definitely.
It's also impossible to say without putting on a funny voice.
True.
Gives it
Platypus.
So to me, it's level pegging.
Yeah.
With Platypi currently.
Then you've got. I don't know if this actually is a thing or not, but can you shorten the word to make it a plural?
Pluralize it. Platy.
Platy or just plat?
Plat. Look at that herd of plat. That's
Yeah.
quite good.
Yeah, so
good.
plat.
Look, a river full of plat.
Exactly, yeah.
I like it.
See,
There's something very like Saxon about the single syllable.
Yeah.
Just, look at that plat. It's like a good swear word.
It
monosyllabic. Hits you.
You stupid plat.
You stupid plat. Works as an insult.
Yeah.
It's always a plus. You silly platypus.
Yeah.
You silly plat.
There you go.
Sounds a bit like Pratt.
It does. It's shorter, so you're using less of your face muscles and your mouth muscles, and that is in your face. I don't know.
Yeah.
but
as a northerner, that sits well with me as well.
Yes,
you can mumble
because we do naturally us northern folk. We naturally mumble or just cut things off of words. So, for example, there I said cut instead of cut.
Yeah, why bother pronouncing the T properly?
Exactly.
I just said
properly. Line, to wardrobe.
I didn't say properly then.
Properly. Yeah.
Properly. So I read this on the Wikipedia article.
Okay.
The colloquially, the term platypi is also used for the plural, although this is a form of pseudo-Latin.
Oh, okay.
Going by the words Greek roots, this is another. I'm getting to the next one up here.
Okay.
The plural would be platypodes.
Oh, I like that.
Platypodes.
That sounds like a Pokemon. I really like that. Yeah.
Platypodes.
Yeah, go Platypode.
Platypodes. What did it evolve into?
Platypus.
Platypus.
Yeah.
And then Platytoad.
Platytoad. That's better than what I was going to say. I was going to say Platybong or Platagong or something, but they're a bit harder to say. Platagong.
Yeah. Platybong. That sounds like something you get like in some like tat shop in like
a weed shop in Australia.
Yeah. Platybong. you put it in its beak and you smoke the tail.
Smoke
its tail.
Smoke its one hole. where it poops, wheezes, and lays eggs from.
So we need to decide, and then we'll throw it out to the audience about
Right.
what the official, from this point on, what this podcast and all other podcasts will refer to as the plural of platypus. So for my money, we've got 3. We've got platypi,
Yeah.
platypus, and platypodes.
Yes, 100%. I'm going to write these down, and I'm going to put it to a vote on social media when this airs. So we've got platypi, see, I'm going to have to spell platypus, though.
Or maybe you could put some slashes to spell it different ways.
Clever.
So you spell it multiple ways, and then we never really then settle on a individual spelling. I mean, for the sake of science, it's a sacrifice we're gonna have to make, Tom.
Yes. So what was it?
To settle this? So
platy,
platypi,
yeah, platypus,
and platypose, which is spelled Platypodes.
Okay, so if you're
Papa,
listening, Papa, see, I where I work, I have to know this. So it's Papa Lima
what's O?
Alpha. O is Oscar.
Papa Oscar Delta Echo Sierra.
There you go.
Is that
Yeah,
right?
that's
I'm
right.
not sure about Echo.
Echo. Hey.
Because you've got like, there was an old version, wasn't there, which is slightly different ones. I'm not sure if Echo is contemporary. Is that the correct one? You should know.
I'm sure it is. I say E for Echo, or I mean, you could say E for Edward or E for Ebola.
My dad does that. He likes
So if you're listening to this now, the poll will be on Facebook and Twitter. So go and vote, and we'll talk about it we'll leave it a couple of weeks, I think.
What's your money behind? What horse are you betting?
Well, before we started, it was Platypi. But I really like platypodes.
Yeah. We'll keep the name of the podcast.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. I do really
platypodes.
like. Yeah. What do you think?
I'm edging towards platypodes.
I am as well.
Right. It's funny, it's stupid, it's silly.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm torn, but we'll leave it a couple of weeks. We'll see what the people say.
I'll try to fudge the numbers.
Well, I'll get Cecil to deal with it. It's fine. I'll make sure he knows not to let you near it.
It's so warm.
Tell me about it. I literally am like, do you know what? I weighed myself a few days ago, and I seem to have lost weight, and I'm putting that 100% down to sweating it out.
Oh yeah, you can, because that's what like boxers and stuff do, isn't it? To cut weight, they just dehydrate themselves.
Yeah, stick themselves in one of those personal saunas that's just a big box with the head sticking out.
So you're doing it in a paddling pool, just in your garden.
Yeah,
I'm prepared for a fight, Johnny.
Paddling pool,
weight.
And I just drop a toaster in.
Yeah. That'll do it. That'll really trim
steam.
The weight. Don't do that. Please.
Don't try that out.
Please, for the love of God.
The thing is, right? They wouldn't have time to blame us because our podcast name is so long. They wouldn't be able to get it all out in time. I
just realised that the background that I've taken from our logo, it really gives you quite an angelic feel.
It does. It's just,
it's all got a nice halo. Yeah. I can't see my. But other Jesus hands, he does like that kind of stuff, doesn't he? Does the
what that?
How many Jesus posters I've seen, you know,
throwing horns.
Throwing the horns. Is it like that? He has like, you know.
Oh yeah, no,
Jesus
I think he just does
signs.
Is it like that or something?
Yeah. Jesus gang signs.
Well, that a minute ago when you were looking proper angelic, that is going to be the picture for for the YouTube video because that's just
Thumbnail.
incredible. Yeah.
She'd have like a baby now.
Do you know who has thumbnails, Johnny?
Who has thumbnails?
Humans. Do you know who does not have thumbnails?
This is a very good segue, Tom. I can tell you word for it, hard, isn't it? Who doesn't have thumbnails?
Pigeons.
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 No, it was on the tip of my tongue, mate.
Yeah.
It was. Of
So
course,
that go on.
claws, don't they?
They do.
Or talons. They don't seem badass enough to have the the word
They're
talons
definitely not
associated with
talons.
them.
No. Eagles have talons.
Eagles
Pigeons have
talons.
twigs. I don't know. If you know what pigeons' feet are called, save us Googling it. Email us platypipodcast@gmail.com.
We're now so lazy we can't be bothered.
We can't be
Googling our own
bothered Googling
facts.
things. No, we want you to do it. So yeah, that takes us nicely on to the news of the week, Johnny. News of the week. News of the week with Tom and Johnny. I'm going to make these even harder for you to
I gotta
put
say,
music
like,
to.
yeah, when you started off, the melodies were quite simple.
Yeah,
and now
they're
they're
going to
just
get
throwing
harder.
all sorts in there, and we'll see how I do.
I'm just going to start
It
doing
comes.
like.
Yeah. Just start doing, you're gonna make them progressively more jazzy.
Start doing
And,
vocal runs and.
Yeah, prog rock. Skitty bap bap skitty bap 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 doo bap. Skitty bap bap. It
News
comes
time.
once again from that fountain of journalistic integrity and cutting edge stories that is the Metro.
Right,
The
can we just
subtitle
talk?
being news, but not as you know it.
Can we just talk about this website? It's clearly sponsored by Iceland.
Is it? Well,
Are
it
you
is for
seeing what I'm seeing?
I'm not seeing Iceland.
Oh. Okay, well, I've clicked on the website and down both the left and right hand side are just massive Iceland adverts. And then across the top is a massive Iceland advert.
Well, I think what's happened here, mate, is I'm running this through Firefox. And for whatever reason, I can see where the banners are supposed to be. It clearly says advertisement, but there's not there. So thank you, Firefox, for saving me the Iceland adverts.
There you go.
I appreciate it.
Right, so
that was not an endorsement.
That was
Firefox
not an endorsement.
had not paid us.
No. Did we ever get anything back from our potential sponsors?
No.
Come on, Raid Shadow Legends. We want in.
I mean, that might be because I haven't emailed them yet.
No, I haven't either, so.
Well, hopefully Cecil has or will.
It's Cecil, though, so don't count on it.
Not until we, cut his wages again or something. And he might.
That's a good shout. I might do that now, actually.
We need to keep abusing him so we can go into space. Is what?
Yes.
Is the way it works.
Yes, let's do it. What would our rocket be shaped at? No, hang on a second now. You've brought something up. What would our rocket be shaped like?
A big old platypus.
Yes. I was hoping you'd say that and not a penis.
Nice and streamlined. It'll have its arms outstretched.
Yeah.
Right, its beak obviously facing up. Like that. Arms outstretched. And the tail, and the thrust comes out the bottom of the tail.
Beautiful. I can't wait.
And we sit in its head, we're looking like that.
Awesome. Right. So, the news, the article. I've not read the article. All I've read, as usual, is the headline. So the headline reads, "Thousands of pigeons vanish mid-race in Bermuda Triangle-style mystery."
It's intense stuff.
Very.
Now, we should clarify that the Metro has done a fair bit of editorializing here because this story has nothing to do with the Bermuda Triangle. The pigeons did not go through the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is nowhere near the source of disappearance. So I think they just wanted to put Bermuda Triangle in a headline.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know.
So let's.
There's a picture here that I think I want to draw attention to first.
Yeah, I was hoping
And
you
it
would.
says, in quotes, the worst day in pigeon racing history.
Yes.
As thousands of birds vanish. The darkest day in
The
pigeon
darkest
racing
day.
history.
There hasn't been a worse day for pigeon racing.
What was the previous darkest day for pigeon racing?
Probably
think?
bird flu.
Yeah, that's pretty dark.
Yeah. Sorry, my
I thought you were
hay
gonna
fever's
say. I thought you were gonna. I thought you were gonna say it was the Great Pigeon Wars, led of course by Dick Dastardly and Muttley, as they
Hey,
tried in vain to catch the pigeon.
that would have been funnier. That would have been so much funnier. And I've ruined it by bringing up bird flu.
As always, Tom.
As always.
Trust Tom. You know, weddings, Christian weddings.
Christians. Just Christians. Are you a Christian?
Weddings.
Bird flu.
Weddings, christenings, bar mitzvahs. You know, Tom ruins it by bringing up bird flu.
First of all, I'd like to say welcome and thank you for attending this funeral. We knew him well, bird flu, and then just walk off.
If anyone else had to say, forever hold your peace.
Bird flu.
Bird flu. Oh, Tom, you ruined it again by bringing up bird flu. The second darkest day in pigeon racing history.
The second, yes. Okay, so back to this article. These adverts are bloody everywhere. So freak weather. I've got to point out the freak weather is in quotation marks.
Yeah.
Freak weather has been blamed for hundreds of thousands of racing pigeons suddenly vanishing into thin air on the same day. Hundreds of thousands. So up to 250,000 birds were released in some 50 races all across Britain on Saturday, June 19th, but only 10% managed to return in the expected time. Can you imagine those that were returning?
The other 9% are going to come out of magicians' hats over the next few months.
That's, yeah.
Just, you know,
it was
going to open it, there's going to be 3 pigeons in there rather than the dove he was expecting.
The great magician's hat top-up of 2021. Can you imagine, though, when that 10% turned up, they were like, oh, Gareth, you never believe what happened, Gareth. I've seen things, man.
Yeah, it started smoking.
Yeah.
Seen some things, man. Seen some things you people wouldn't believe. Thousands of us. Pigeons, one and all.
All the humans here is...
We weren't men. We were children. We were pigeons. We knew nothing. Did I get a medal when I came back? No. No, I didn't.
So thousands are still missing. That's more than thousands. If 250,000 went and only about 25,000 came back, that's 225,000 birds that are still missing. And some have subsequently been spotted as far as Holland and Mallorca.
They've gone on holiday. They've gone on holiday.
Yeah.
That's what happened, is they've gone, stuff this, take a left here and go Mallorca.
That's exactly what happened. So where have they got the Bermuda Triangle from then? They've not disappeared. Well, they've buggered off abroad.
This is the thing. Yeah, there's nothing to do with the Bermuda Triangle. Nothing to do with it. I can't remember this. Where was this set? Where do they take off from? Does it say?
Well, the picture is from Media Wales, so I'm gonna assume some of them were from Wales.
Last time I checked, the Bermuda Triangle wasn't above the Welsh border.
No,
but call me crazy. that would be if it was the Welsh Bermuda Triangle, there'd be far more consonants in its name. Let's be honest.
A bit
It would be the
triangle. I'm allowed to be
Triangle.
offensive to the Welsh, by the way, because I have Welsh blood. So I'm
It was
allowed.
really mean of you to kidnap that Welshman and perform a non-consensual blood transfusion, Tom. That
Why?
doesn't give you the right.
Yes,
to
it does.
insult the
That makes me Welsh.
When you stole that from that Welsh blood bank,
Yeah.
put it into me veins. I want to be Welsh.
They wouldn't let me. I had to literally just run out with bags under my arms and then drink it.
I'm Welsh. This is mine. It's my blood. Blood of my people. Can you speak any Welsh, Tom?
No.
No.
to put it bluntly.
Because you could have said anything. I would have gone, oh, cool.
Oh, hang on. I'm not saying this because of what you just said, by the way. I'm trying to remember. I knew like one Welsh word. What's it? No, I can't remember.
Well, that was great, Tom.
I know that there's that place with the longest name in the world or something. I can say the first bit of that. It's like Clan Fair Puff Willy something.
I highly doubt that's how you pronounce it, Tom. But I mean, I'm willing to,
And then there's like an og at the end or something.
Oh yeah. I think I went through there once on a train.
Yeah. Clan Fair. Right. Anyway, back to the article. So we've already concluded that they didn't disappear in a Bermuda Triangle incident. They've just buggered off on holiday.
No, they weren't on holiday. Right. They went and got their passports renewed and buggered off to Mallorca. Now they go, hey Jim, is Mallorca amber or green right now? Can we go there? what bracket is Mallorca in?
On their little
good, Greg.
phones. Do they have phones?
Yeah. Surely I can't think of a joke quick enough.
No, I can't either. No, it's gone.
Is there a pun about phones to do with pigeons?
Probably. Seeds.
No.
I don't know. Anyway, back to the article. Bread, yeah.
Bread tablet.
Bread tablet. Something about apples. I don't know.
Bird flu.
So, bird flu. Full circle. All right.
Ruined it again by bringing bird flu.
So the mass disappearance has prompted some to dub the date the worst day in the sport's history. Disappearances were first highlighted in reports about a race from Peterborough to the northeast, in which more than half of the 9,000 pigeons taking part went AWOL. So
these are military serving pigeons, then, is what we're saying. They've got away without leave. That's what AWOL means, isn't it? But
yeah.
Didn't realise these were service pigeons going AWOL.
The thing is, right?
Rogue.
I don't know how pigeons work, but if like you'd think it'd be like a bit of a pack type situation. So if a load of them went off somewhere, you think the rest of them would follow.
What you've got is always the case with group projects. You've got, some cocky arsehat whose voice is louder than everyone else's.
Yeah.
No. Listen, lads, this way. I know where I'm going. I don't read no sat nav. It's this way. This way.
Yeah.
I know where I'm going.
So more than half of the 9,000 pigeons
in the Bermuda Triangle above. And they got them lost in the Bermuda Triangle. What was it? Fucking Peterborough. The Bermuda Triangle.
Peterborough Triangle.
Many times I've heard of planes disappearing above Peterborough. Unsolved mysteries of Peterborough airspace. They're out there, Tom. Peterborough.
So So Dean Simpson, who's a race controller, as if they have race controllers for pigeons. So a race controller for the South West Wales Federation of Pigeon Fanciers. But what?
That's the name for people that fancy pigeons, that race pigeons.
They race.
Pigeon
Well, they
fancy.
race them or they bum them.
My
Which
dad
one
used to
is it?
be. My dad used to be a pigeon fancier.
Did he?
Fun fact. Yeah, because he lived much like yourself, lived in the Midlands, in the
Oh,
countryside.
it's a Midlands thing, isn't it?
Not much else to
Bloody
do
hell.
in the 60s when you were a kid.
Not much to
And
do there
raise
now.
pigeons.
Yeah, let's raise
Yeah.
pigeons. Right, so Dean Simpson, who fancies pigeons, said the same almost happened to him and his friends. A huge number of birds they'd lovingly reared. So they do want to bum pigeons. So a huge number of birds that they'd lovingly bummed from from chicks suddenly disappeared without a trace. So that's awkward. There they are, the pigeon
See,
bummers.
I thought Dean meant that the same thing happened to them. That they got lost. Dean and his mates got lost.
Oh, they didn't.
On
I
their
thought you
way
were going to
from
say they got
Peterborough
bummed by pigeons.
to the northeast. The pigeons' revenge. That's where they've gone. They've gone to do a pigeon Me Too movement. Is stop harassing pigeons.
Makes
You
sense.
freaks.
So,
Come on,
Dean
it's not hard
said
to get from Peterborough to the northeast.
we'd let ours go from Swindon at midday on the same Saturday. That's a 92-mile journey with the wind behind them, so it shouldn't have taken them long. But of the 1,400 that went out, only 200 to 300 made it home. And when we looked on social media later, we saw that lots of other federations around the UK had experienced something similar. I just want to touch on something, right? Completely.
The Pigeon Trade Federation.
Pigeon
from the
Trade
Star Wars
Federation.
prequels.
Yes. I
the
don't know what it
offensive,
is.
Racist like stereotypes.
We've had so much time off between these seasons that I've forgotten how to read.
It happens, man. It's also like too warm to function. So
Yeah, true.
don't worry about it.
So, where are we? Yes, tasked with deciding when and where birds are released on each day, liaising with other federations and checking the weather situation. Dean said there's been no warning signs that something odd was about to happen. That's because they pulled the wool over your eyes, Dean. They've had this planned for weeks.
Yeah.
Come on, lads, we're going away.
Yeah,
Don't tell Dean.
This is the pigeon Great Escape. This is.
Yeah.
You know,
like
they've had enough of
chicken run for pigeons.
Pigeon rearing. It totally is chicken run for pigeons.
Yeah.
I don't want bird flu. I don't like pies.
Further down the article says, so he added that the homing pigeons can navigate using the Earth's magnetic fields as a guide, but a freak occurrence such as a solar storm could have ended up distorting their sense of direction. This could be one explanation behind the mysterious Bermuda Triangle phenomenon, but the answer still isn't clear. So what they're trying to do here now is they're trying to tackle the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle with a load of pigeons that have gone on holiday.
Yeah. So what they need to do is they need to find a pigeon that went there, get the black box out of it, and you get like its flight recording, don't you?
Yeah.
Like where it was and GPS and stuff like that. This is also the point where the article interjects the Bermuda Triangle narrative without it, being called for. That's all. So it's solar winds blowing them off course.
Well,
apparently.
Well, if you read further down, Dean then carried on saying, personally, I've not ruled out a series of mini tornadoes being to blame. He's thought of everything. Dean has thought of absolutely everything.
Next week, we're going to read about how a local fisherman was attacked by a swarm of 200,000 pigeons
in a tornado.
Yeah.
Just a tornado of pigeons.
What was his name? Michael, what's his face from Inside the Whale?
Oh yeah.
He's gonna get attacked by pigeons this time.
And his mum Anne. Hey, Anne would be able to make some nice paintings.
Pigeons, yeah,
pigeon
yeah,
tornado.
yeah. The pigeon to. You've heard of Sharknado? Welcome to Pigeonnado.
Yes.
Pigeon racing. Are
Uh,
they affiliated with Formula One? Do you think that's been going on recently?
yeah, maybe.
From in Pigeon Hamilton,
Pigeon Hamilton.
Michael Flumacher,
Sir Pigeon Vettel. That one doesn't work.
no.
Sebastian Vettel, Sir Pigeon Vettel. No. Who else have we got? Oh,
I've exhausted my known
Pigeon Ricardo. He's Australian, so maybe he's just gone back to Australia. I like this bit as well. It's upsetting for the boys because they've reared these birds by hand, really looked after them. And while money is the last thing on anyone's mind at a time like this, pigeon fancying can be an expensive hobby. Losing this many birds will have cost a fortune. However, he added that it wasn't the first time an event like this had taken place. Dean added some of our older members can recall an identical unexplained happening from about 60 years ago, but that was way before my time. And that's how the article ends.
Old man going, many moons ago, I remember the second darkest day in pigeon fancy history.
Not the first, though.
The sky.
Bird flew.
The third darkest day in pigeon. The sky, she was clear. The birds, they were let loose, flying. And then above the Peterborough Triangle, they went away well to Mallorca and came back with straw hats
and a suntan.
Itchy groins.
Itchy groins. That's why I don't like growing. That's why I don't like the heat. Do not like the heat because it just gives me a proper itchy groin.
STI.
Maybe. Sun transmitted infection.
The sun's at our sea, yes, because you're so pale.
Yes. It's because I'm from the Midlands.
Midlands. Yeah.
And on that note,
race controllers,
yes.
You reckon they stand at different in the corners and like with flags?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Have you ever seen a pigeon pit stop?
I haven't personally.
Where they replace the wings.
Just jack the pigeon up and then wings and feet get replaced. Tail. They just dump out their bowels and bladders.
There's enough jacking up pigeons on this pigeon fancy group, I tell you.
Well, yeah, there definitely is. Pigeon fanciers. So yeah, we've gone from
you fancy pigeons.
This has been an interesting episode. We've gone from working out a new word for the English dictionary to people bumming pigeons.
People pigeon.
I think we should outsource.
Sat now, do you think pigeons use?
Go on. Oh, is there not a joke there? Oh, all right. Oh, I thought there was a joke there. Oh,
I'm trying to give you jokes, Tom. Come on.
Yeah.
Yes, and.
It's too hot. Far too hot. They probably don't use sat navs.
I had to catch a pigeon once.
Did you? I won't tell you my story of a pigeon.
Yeah, well, I failed.
Mine.
I failed.
I don't want to say it because I'll offend people, but mine involved somebody saying that there was an issue with said pigeons, and then me as a 12-year-old boy with an air rifle. That's all I'm saying.
Oh no, that's horrible.
Yeah,
that's not cool.
I was from the Midlands.
It's what we did back then.
Exactly, it was. And on that dark note,
hey, I've got to tell you about how I nearly caught a pigeon.
Oh, go on.
Right. So I was doing my previous job.
Yeah.
In local government, serving the public. You might be able to infer what that means from
Yes.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
description. But so I was working somewhere in Lancashire, like a small town, and we there's a pigeon in the car park, won't go away, right? Wasn't like your rough Blackpool pigeon,
Okay.
it was they clearly been in fights because they have like toes missing, don't they, in Blackpool?
Yeah.
The pigeons just fight because, as we know, all birds are dicks,
Yes.
right? So it was quite a fancy pigeon, probably a fancied pigeon. Let's be honest, right?
It'd been bummed,
And
basically.
he had a he had a tag on his foot, so this pigeon belongs to somebody, right?
Yeah.
And he'd been there for a few days. So this is going to be a Beaks and Bobs, this story probably, but I need to tell it.
Go on.
So my colleague had tried to catch the pigeon,
Catch the
and had
pigeon.
failed. And I was like, step aside. I want to catch this pigeon, right? So I went for a different tack, because they were trying to use a box to shoot him into the box. Wasn't happening, right? So I got a towel, right, from somewhere. Can't remember where, but I got a towel. And then I was like, it was a sight to behold because there was just me chasing this pigeon around the
I
car
can
park
picture it very
with a
well in my
towel.
head.
Like some absurd, like, what do they call it? Matador.
Yeah.
With a kitchen towel. I mean, come on. Right. So my plan was to corner the pigeon, right? Whom I named Pigeony Joe.
Okay.
And my plan was to throw the towel over the pigeon and then grasp the pigeon.
Yeah. Makes
right?
sense.
Yeah. So I cornered the pigeon in the corner of the car park by Sainsbury's. Towel in my hand. And a bit closer. I know we have one of those moments where you sort of like, you get there and you're like, what's the plan, Johnny?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
So there, on the towel, squaring off this pigeon. Through the towel. Hit the pigeon. Right? I go and try and grab the pigeon in the towel. Pigeon much quicker than I thought it was going to be because I did actually had like trouble with this. Right? And I try and grasp the pigeon, but I don't want to hurt the pigeon either.
No, of course.
I just wanted to see if there's like a number on his thing, right? And I tried to grab him, and then I'm wrestling with this pigeon, and I'm thinking like, what's the plan here, Johnny? I don't really think it through. I thought it'd be easy as, towel, grasp, pigeon. But
Of
then,
course.
I'm in this tussle with a towel and a pigeon, thinking I should have really had a box as well. Like you used to in Gladiator, you have like a net and a spear.
Yeah.
I should have a net and a spear.
You should.
Net and a
Yeah.
box.
I don't know if you probably had
Towel and
those on
box.
hand or not.
Looking back, I should have really like done more dastardly sort of techniques. I should have set like some sort of trap or like some sort of box with a thing on it, bit of seed, and pull the string, trap the pigeon.
Yeah, that makes sense. That story was like I was completely immersed in that story.
Pigeon got away, but didn't get away. I take that back. He flew away from my grasp, right, and continued to taunt me.
Of course
for the
he
rest
did.
Of the day,
yeah,
just out of my reach.
Yeah,
like, what are you gonna do about it? Gonna do that, big man? Where's your towel now?
Pigeons are bastards.
Thus concludes my story about pigeons.